What's going on, guys? It's Board Gamers in here today to talk about the Superstar Shakeup. It is Monday, meaning that it's been a week since the Monday Night Raw side of the Shakeup. And you might be thinking, isn't this a little late? No, I wanted to do this at the end of the whole week, basically, because of what was going on. They said it was going to be a week-long shakeup. I haven't heard of any other moves outside of what they've already done on those 2 days, but apparently it was a week-long shakeup because Vince really didn't know what he wanted going forward. Also, make sure you guys go watch the video last night about the Shield's last chapter. Reacted to the whole show on the channel. Forgot to tag it and share it because it uploaded pretty late last night. It was like 2 a.m. So I woke up this morning, did all of that. Make sure you guys go over there and make sure you guys either leave a like or comment or just interact with it. Anyways, let's get right into the Superstar Shakeup news. We're going to start off on Monday Night Raw, and we are going to talk about The Miz. The Miz, I think this is a good move here. Now, it's been rumored that The Miz is getting moved over to Raw so he can promote Miz and Mrs. Unfortunately, that's the reality of it, but hopefully what this means, even though what we saw on Monday we saw him attack Shane from behind. Hopefully this means him and Shane are finally done with each other. Technically, Shane's not brand exclusive anymore, so he can be on Raw. So I'm hoping Shane McMahon just stays out of the Raw scene and lets Miz be his own character. And Miz hopefully can bring the mid-card of Monday Night Raw to high success like we've always seen the Miz do. Very good heel. Right now he's a face, but still working very well. Very good talent in the Miz on the mid-card scene for Monday Night Raw. I really do like how that started. The second part of the shakeup, we had Aleister Black and Ricochet. They both were confirmed to be on Monday Night Raw. Like both of them, like I said, time and time again. Ricochet, he's great. Aleister, he's great as well. Now, obviously, I'd like to see them be singles competitors, but since right now they're short on tag teams, I'm fine with it, and hopefully Aleister's the one that goes heel and breaks this team up, because I think Aleister could have a huge run as one of the top heels on Raw. Ricochet, same thing, very, very easy to get behind, could have a huge babyface role on Monday Night Raw. Next we have Andrade and Zelina Vega. They get moved over. I like this. Hopefully we can get a Andrade versus Seth feud. Apparently they moved Andrade and Zelina over so that Zelina can be on the same brand as Aleister. Now I doubt that's the reason. I'm hoping they had more in mind for Andrade here, but if you want to say that they only did it for that reason, then why take Andrade away from Charlotte since they're dating as well? So I'm hoping and I'm thinking that they have a big plan for Andrade and hopefully getting him elevated to the next level. Next we have Rey Mysterio. I don't know what you want me to say. Big name, but he's not really going to factor much into many things on Monday Night Raw. There's that. Next, we have the Usos. I really like this addition. The Usos finally away from the New Day. We've seen them battle it time and time again, and I still love the battles they have. But we get to see the Usos take their talents over to Raw and show the Raw tag team division what the Usos are made for. And now the Usos can actually go back and become tag team champions again, because every time they get the tag team championships on SmackDown Live, we already know that the New Day is not going to be too far behind them. So That's good for the Usos. Next we had EC3. I'm a huge EC3 fan. I would love to sit here and say EC3 is heading to Monday Night Raw and he's going to be a huge mid-card act. Nope. EC3 on this show comes out and he gets power slammed into the table from Braun Strowman. Welcome to the mid-card jobbing scene, EC3. Next we have Lacey Evans being confirmed on Monday Night Raw. She is going to be feuding with Becky for that Raw Women's Championship. She had a match against Natty, ended up winning. I'm not a huge fan of her. She's had one match and she's getting pushed already. She's already being pushed down our throats. I'm not a huge fan of that. Got to see a whole lot more from Lacey Evans before I accept her facing Becky, and they're making me nervous that Lacey Evans will be winning that title, considering on Vince's tendencies with tall, athletic blondes. Yeah, Vince, I'm looking at you. Next we have Eric Young. Same thing with EC3. I'm hoping he'll break out, but he's most likely going to be sitting in the mid-card jobbing scene as well. Cedric Alexander. This surprised me. I'm a big Cedric Alexander fan. He's from Chicago. I'm hoping that he can break out. I really am. Cedric Alexander is one of those talents you look at and you're like, he can be something special. I'd love to see Cedric Alexander versus Seth Rollins or AJ Styles or anybody really. Cedric Alexander, I'm hoping, is going to have one of the Ali runs. I want to say Mustafa, but that's not his name anymore. I'm hoping he'll go on one of those Ali runs where people start getting behind him and he's getting elevated into the main event scene. Not the main event, but he's just getting his feet wet, getting towards that area where he's in the same sentence, but he's not really getting a match just yet. But hopefully Cedric Alexander can try to get somewhere around that scene. I don't know how much Vince likes Cedric, but I'm hoping Cedric Alexander will have big things in store for us on Monday Night Raw. And now we get into the thing that ruined the whole shakeup. And you guys already know what it is. You probably heard it all over. We're talking about the Viking Experience. Vince, those are the War Raiders. You know how dumb they looked coming out doing the war chants when their name's the frickin' Viking Experience? That sounds like a kiddie ride, man. It sounds like a kiddie ride. Hanson and Rowe had their names switched to Eric and Ivar. And then on NXT, they were promoting new merch for War Raiders. The thing that really makes me mad is on NXT, they're still Hanson and Rowe and the War Machine. And then on Monday Night Raw, they're just the Viking Experience. What is going on? You're literally 2 days apart or 1 day apart, whatever, and you guys can't stay consistent with just having them be the War Raiders. Sure, you don't like the term war being used, Vince, but I'm sorry, but doesn't Ember Moon have War Goddess in her name? I'm just saying, you can't have both sides of the stick there, Vince. I'm not a fan of their name change. Not gonna be a fan of their name change. Hopefully we see them at the top of the tag team division, but the Viking Experience definitely, to me, sounds like it's gonna be a jobbing tag team. They did win on Monday Night Raw though, so there's that. And the main event of Monday Night Raw's side of the shakeup was AJ Styles, Mr. The house that AJ Styles built. I don't even know which way this goes. There you go. AJ Styles. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. This has been rumored for the last 2-3 years. We've known that Vince has wanted AJ Styles over on Monday Night Raw. He is finally over there. I like it. That means we can have an AJ Seth match. That gives us AJ Cedric now. AJ versus Andrade. Andrade, even though they could have done that on SmackDown. Would love to see an Alistair versus AJ match. Ricochet and AJ. There's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to with AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw, and hopefully we get to see some of it. AJ Styles, major name, major boost to that Monday Night Raw roster. They needed that. They needed AJ Styles from what they gave up on SmackDown. They needed a name like AJ Styles to come over. Now we're gonna get into the SmackDown side of things, but before we start on there, I do want to mention that the only real big names that came over from SmackDown, I mean, Rey Mysterio, okay. Usos, okay. They weren't factoring in many fans. Andrade, love him, but he wasn't in many plans. AJ Styles in the Miz. Those were really the only two heavy names that got brought over. Now, if you look at the SmackDown Live roster, I'm seeing main event stars all over the board. Okay, so let's start it off with the women's division over on SmackDown Live. We have Bayley coming in. Huge boost. Great for Bayley. She's going to be in the singles division, I'm assuming, although on the house show she has been teaming with either Ember Moon or Nikki Cross. So I don't know if that means Bayley is going to pick one of them up as a tag team partner, but I'm hoping Bayley is going to be by herself because on SmackDown Live, she kind of sort of opened up the door to facing Becky for that SmackDown Live Women's Championship. So that's a huge boost to the women's division over on SmackDown Live. We also had Ember Moon, same thing as Bayley. Ember Moon really didn't get her foot in the door the right way on Monday Night Raw. So now she's going to restart on SmackDown Live. Hopefully she can find her way into a match against Becky. And I know how good Ember is, and I know how good Becky is, and put them two together, I think you can get a pretty nice match. Next, we had Kairi Sane. Same thing as Ember and Bayley. I know how talented she is. She is going to be in a tag team with Asuka, so it looks like they'll be feuding with the Iconics. I would love to see Kairi versus Becky. Not going to at this point, but the door's still open since she is on SmackDown Live. And then we had Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, when I saw this, I'm like, really? We brought Liv Morgan over instead of Ruby Riott? I would have rather seen Ruby brought over, but I guess that would be giving them too many women that have star potential. Liv Morgan, don't get me wrong, Liv Morgan's good, but Ruby Riott definitely was the biggest star out of the three women. Liv Morgan was the one brought over, meaning Ruby Riott is probably going to stay on Sarah Logan and team. I wouldn't be against Ruby Riott going off on her own and being a star, but Liv Morgan's over on SmackDown Live. I'm assuming she's either going to pick up a tag team partner, because I can't really see her getting too much of a push by herself. I'm sorry, it's not the time for Liv Morgan. I don't know who she teams with, but definitely do not think it's her time to be even in the same sentence yet. She's not even in the. She still needs a lot to improve before she can even get to the level that Becky's currently at in a feud with Becky. So next we have Buddy Murphy, and I love this. Buddy Murphy, same thing with Cedric Alexander. This is a huge opportunity for Buddy. We've seen what he can do in 205 Live, and finally he gets brought up to the main roster, and he's brought up to SmackDown. Okay. I like it. Buddy Murphy on SmackDown, right where I thought he should have been. Buddy Murphy, very good. I watched his house show 2 nights ago. This man in the ring's trash talk is hilarious as well. I mean, he almost got in a fight with the ref. It was hilarious. Buddy Murphy, very, very good talent. I love Buddy Murphy. One of the best people from 205 Live, and definitely can see him being sort of like an Ali case where he can be around the main event, but not necessarily be the main event just yet. Next, we have Lars. What am I going to say? He's basically going to be the monster on SmackDown Live. They couldn't put him on Raw because they have Drew over there. They have Braun over there. You got to let him be his own big guy. if you really want Lars to break out. I don't see much in him right now, but there you go. He's on SmackDown Live, and he's going to be probably shoved down our throats. I don't think he'll get a... He might take it off Kofi. I wouldn't be surprised. But he might be pushed into the main event just a little bit too soon. Next, we have Gable. He's finally breaking off from Bobby Roode. I'm all for this because Bobby Roode's going to be on his own now, and hopefully Bobby Roode can become that massive heel over on Raw. But Chad Gable on SmackDown Live, I'm sorry, you're probably going to find yourself not getting much television time. I can't see them investing too much time in Chad Gable at this point. Nobody really cares about Chad Gable. He's a good performer, but really nobody's going to be saying, hey, the one thing I want to see tonight at SmackDown Live is Chad Gable versus Apollo Crews. I'm just throwing out the name. Talking about Apollo Crews, he's also on SmackDown Live now. Do you care? Neither do I. Came up way too early from NXT. He probably would have benefited from being thrown back down to NXT. I don't think anybody got thrown back down to NXT outside of Alexander Wolf, who went to NXT UK. But there you go. There's that. Apollo Crews. He's going to be on SmackDown Live. He's probably not going to get much television time anyway, so if anybody cared. Mickie James. This is depth of the women's division. She's probably not going to factor into many big plans. She might get a match or two against Becky. Definitely not going to be the winner. Definitely not going to take it off Becky. Definitely not going to be the major story on SmackDown Live when it comes to the women's division, but it adds depth, adds another option for them to extend the title run if they wish. Next, we have Heavy Machinery. Basically, they gave up the Usos for Heavy Machinery. That's a loss, but Heavy Machinery, it's a minor boost to their SmackDown Live tag team division. There you go. Heavy Machinery. Are they probably going to factor into much? Probably not, but they're going to be on SmackDown Live. Now we have, now we get into the big stuff. Now we have Balor. Balor came out, and he has the Intercontinental Championship still. And this made me think, I was like, so what about Joe? Because Joe hasn't been announced for Monday Night Raw. He still hasn't been announced for Monday Night Raw. So as of now, it looks as if Joe is going to be on the same show as Balor, on the same show as Kofi. That's 3 big championships all on the same show. Then you have 1 big championship over on Raw. I'm not counting the women's for the tags, clearly. But I'm thinking they're probably going to move Joe over to Raw. I mean, I love Joe, but that's not going to get me excited bringing Joe over to Raw. Sorry. Balor, SmackDown Live, where I thought he needed to be. Brings Intercontinental title over there. There you go. Great for the mid-card division on SmackDown Live. Huge name to the SmackDown Live mid-card scene. Balor can even be brought into the big main event scene over on SmackDown Live. Not at this time. You gotta let him hold the IC title, and you gotta wait for Kofi to eventually lose to a major heel. Then you gotta build Balor up as the big babyface that's gonna take it out. But that's at least 4 or 5 months away. At least. Next we have Elias. Here we got teased that Elias was the biggest acquisition in SmackDown Live history. Vince came out and he publicly endorsed Elias. One guy that he looks forward to as the flag bearer is what he said. He's like, Elias is going to be the next guy. Elias comes out, plays his shtick, and out comes Roman. Roman Reigns is now on SmackDown Live along with Elias. Elias, great for the mid-card scene, very good heel over on SmackDown Live. But Roman comes out, Superman punches Elias and Vince McMahon. So right now, Roman's looking at a tweener situation, but Roman Reigns on SmackDown Live is a fresh piece of scenery. Really do like that. I'm not the biggest Roman Reigns fan out there, but I am a fan of Roman Reigns going over to SmackDown Live because that is probably the change of scenery that Roman Reigns needed. I'm really excited to see what Roman Reigns can do over on SmackDown Live. He's probably not going to be the heel to take it off Kofi. I don't know who the major heel on SmackDown is going to be. Did they get anybody? I guess Elias. But Elias surely can't be the top heel. Surely. You could turn Kevin on. There you go. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the Superstar Shakeup video. Make sure you guys go like the videos that I posted earlier this week. Make sure you guys sub to the channel. Make sure you guys click that like button. And make sure you guys comment down below. See you guys next time. It's your boy Gamers Goon, and I'm out.